Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health TV and radio show. I'm your host, SARA BANTA. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of three. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you are notified every week with my podcasts on Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. It's free. There's no downside. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. The protocols and supplements I discuss are all found at SARABANTAHEALTH.com. And that group is there to show you, to just not give you supplements and then fall off a cliff where there's no follow through. I am here to help you, to troubleshoot. Your friends in the group are there to support you, ask questions that you may not even know that you're asking. So it is truly a wealth of knowledge, and it's free. Today we are talking about a subject that is deep instilled in me because this was my rock bottom. IBS, best diet and supplements to manage IBS. So 18 years ago, I was pregnant with my second child and I was having intestinal spasms, but I actually thought I was going into labor at week 23. And I'll never forget going into the hospital, and the nurse said, "Are you having a boy or a girl?" And I said, "I'm having a girl." And she said, "That's great because girls survive much better than boys when they're premature." And here I am thinking I'm going to have my baby at week 23. Well, little did I know, baby was fine. Nothing was wrong there. But I was having intestinal spasms. I would rather be going through labor. And if anyone out there is like me who has had this, or just gas and uncomfortableness after every time you eat, there's nothing worse. You have fear of going to restaurants, going to people's houses, whatever it is. I then went to a GI doctor. They put tubes up me, down me, around me, and all she came back with, "Oh, you've got IBS, take some Metamucil." Nothing about my diet, nothing about supplements other than taking fiber. And that was it. So let's get into it. I had to come to my solutions through my own body, and now through my 3 kids, my husband, and my whole household, and now thousands of you who have given me feedback. So we have come up with solutions, which is amazing because there's so many things out there that you could use and could be backfiring, or they don't work and you're just wasting your money, or they're doing damage and it's making the problem actually worse. Constipation, diarrhea, bloat, indigestion, and gas. And these topics no one wants to talk about. In my family, we talk about poop every single day. It affects at least 25% of women and 20% of men. And I don't think people are talking about it. So I don't even think those numbers reflect how many people are having issues. And I think people are having a lot more issues now with the immense amount of thyroid issues, IBS, just the leaky gut issues that are happening. Pooping is a natural bodily function and it plays an essential role in our overall health and well-being. If any of you are parents out there, when you had a baby, you always look for that baby to eat, poop, and sleep. Eat, poop, and sleep. And that's what you focus on, right? Because that is what the natural body needs to do to live. It's the process of eliminating waste products from our digestive system, including undigested foods, toxins, and other waste materials. And many people are experiencing these constipation bouts or they may intentionally hold in their bowel movements due to stress or various reasons. There's a reason that they call it anal retentive. If you are anal retentive, you hold in things and you're uptight with everything you do in life. Well, same with your poop. And then you also have babies who actually can get potty trained to urinate in the toilet, but they'll hold in their poop and they don't do it. So there's definitely a brain gut connection. So we're going to dive into that a little bit as well. Waste accumulation. So what happens when you don't poop? The first and most obvious consequence of not pooping is that the waste material accumulates in the colon, and this can lead to uncomfortable feelings of fullness, bloat, and this can be very distressing. And then as the stools continue to build up, it can lead to severe abdominal pain and discomfort, and even those spasms that I was experiencing. It worsens estrogen dominance. So I have been talking a lot about estrogen dominance in men and women. When you get the man boobs and a lack of muscle tissue and you just hormonally don't feel well, testosterone goes down. Well, how pooping is related to this is the estrobolone, is the estrogen detoxifying microbiome in the gut. It is the aggregate of the bacterial genes whose products are capable of metabolizing the estrogens in the gut. Its job is to help excrete those things out of the body. And those things are being affected by antibiotics, drugs, and a bad diet. When you're constipated, the estrogen that is meant to pass through the gut and out with the feces becomes reabsorbed in the body. So then what happens? You become more estrogen dominant because you're not getting rid of those estrogens. Next, the bacterial flora imbalance. Not pooping can cause an imbalance in the natural bacterial flora of the gut, leading to digestive problems such as irritable bowel syndrome and other gastrointestinal issues. And what we're now learning, and I'm going to dive into soon, is the connection between depression and the gut microbiome. So we're not just even talking about IBS causing bloat and spasms and feeling uncomfortable. We're actually talking about the fact that it could be causing your mental issues, your depression, your anxiety. So it is so important to be healing that EBS. The longer you go without pooping, the more toxins and waste products that your body will absorb, which can affect your brain and your body. Then chronic constipation can also lead to a host of other problems, including hemorrhoids, anal fissures, and even rectal prolapse. When you strain to pass a bowel movement, the pressure can damage the delicate tissues in the rectum and anus, leading to painful conditions. That's why a lot of people use those squatty potties where it lifts your feet up so you're more in a comfortable position going to the bathroom. You're not supposed to sit on the toilet more than a minute or something like that because the strain is really hard on you. And you're sitting there going, well, Sarah, I have to, because I have to be able to relax. And, I'll sit there for 20 minutes hoping to poop. So we're going to hopefully give you some solutions where that's not the case. You can also get fecal impaction. And in severe cases, not pooping can lead to this condition. And what happens is the stool becomes so hard and compacted that it can't pass without medical intervention. And it can cause, obviously, extreme discomfort and pain, but also bowel obstruction. And then you're going to need to go to the doctor or the emergency room. So that's not where we want to get to. So what is IBS? Irritable bowel syndrome. This is a chronic digestive disorder that affects the large intestine. And the symptoms to look out for: recurring pain in the abdomen area, changes in bowel movements, including diarrhea and constipation or both, abdominal pain or stomach cramps, bloat, urgency for bowel movements, feelings that you're not getting it all out. And I want to make a point also, a lot of women with PMS symptoms get constipated and get these cramps. and they don't know if it's their PMS cramps or if it's their large intestine. Well, it could be both, because when you are PMSing and there's inflammatory things going on with your ovaries or in the whole pelvic region, and I will be getting into a protocol for PMS in a couple months. But what happens is then that's putting pressure on your intestines, and then things can't go and move around like they normally do in the intestines. And then the intestines get swollen and inflamed. And then you're completely inflamed in that whole lower abdominal area. There's just not as much room. And then it just all feels stuck. And that feeling of being stuck is real. It's all just kind of stuck. And then it's pushing pressure on the ovaries and the female organs, where those things in the blood supply is stuck. And then it leads to pelvic inflammatory disease. So it's not necessarily a disease, but that inflammation is causing the cramps to be worse. And then you reach for your Advil, but then the Advil is not going to help with the IBS symptoms. So you're not really taking care of the problem. So although these symptoms are uncomfortable, there's no visible sign of digestion or damage to the digestive tract. But what can lead to IBS? Antibiotics, dairy, processed foods. Dairy is a tricky one because a lot of people say, well, it's keto, Sarah, it's low carb, right? Well, dairy is meant to fatten baby cows. So number one, if you're doing a protocol to try to lose weight, dairy is not your friend. But dairy can also cause skin eruptions. It can cause a gut microbiome issue, and it can cause IBS and constipation. So you have to be very careful with dairy. And some dairy is okay and some dairy is not. So just listen to your body. Processed foods, bad for everybody. I don't necessarily say you need, some are okay for you, but those are definitely a trigger that can lead to IBS. Medications, because they strip your gut microbiome and they change it. Stress. We all know that we don't necessarily poop, or we could get diarrhea when we're under stress, because that is affecting the gut microbiome. When you're stressed, your cortisol increases, your blood sugar increases, your epinephrine increases. Your gut and your body says, oh my God, I'm being chased by a tiger right now. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to poop, because you don't have time to poop when you're being chased by a tiger, right? So the body holds it in, you're anal retentive, and things just get backed up. Hormonal imbalance. When your hormones are out of balance, it's a vicious cycle. That estrogen builds up, and then that's going to cause more issues with the gut, and then that's going to cause more estrogen dominance, and then there's a vicious cycle. Hypothyroidism. 9 out of 10 of you are hypothyroid. That is what we are seeing with this new era of what's going on in the last couple of years. And when I feel my thyroid sluggish, I am constipated. When I feel my thyroid on fire, I have bowel movements like normal. Everything's moving. It's because everything's moving, and the thyroid is the master endocrine gland. So because it's controlling everything, it's controlling your adrenals, your gonads, everything in the body. And it also feels good, right? When your thyroid's on, it feels good, and your body is ready to get rid of its waste. Depression, like I mentioned in the beginning, studies are coming out connecting your gut microbiome with depression. How amazing. If we could fix our gut microbiome, all of the mood issues are going to go away. Well, I think there's a lot of factors that go into it, but your gut microbiome has a lot to do with your mood, and vice versa. So when you're depressed, you're also probably hypothyroid, which then leads into and is connected to being having IBS symptoms. Fungus and parasites, those can trigger and cause IBS symptoms, both constipation and diarrhea. A vitamin D deficiency, obviously, and then also dehydration. You have to be drinking water, but not just water. It's a lack of electrolytes also that could be causing constipation and issues. There's something called salt flushes where you could do tablespoons of something like the accelerated ancient salt, a full complete salt, and it will actually help with your constipation and flush things out. What are the myths about how to manage and reverse IBS? This brings a lot of really bad repressed memories from when I was at the GI doctor of what she was telling me to do. And I knew they didn't work because I had already tried all of them. Unfortunately, the typical solutions to manage IBS fail to get to the root of the problem, and they could be making things worse. So, what not to do? What are they telling you to do? A high fiber diet. Oh, just eat more fiber and it'll move things through. Well, actually, fiber is helpful in the right amounts, but too much of it can actually back up the colon, which then worsens the constipation issues. Taking laxatives. Laxatives can be temporary solution, but it can actually weaken the colon muscles. So they become dependent on the laxative to produce a bowel movement. And they can lead to nutrient malabsorption, which then has a cascade of negative health effects. I know a lot of you listening have taken laxatives and you know that it's made your system even worse and weaker. The other thing is getting hydrotherapy. I do the open system versus the closed system. So the open system, and when you call a facility, ask them if they are an open system or a closed system. The closed system weakens the muscles. You need the muscles to be strong, just like when you're lifting your biceps in the gym, you need to be using those muscles in the colon. Well, the closed system does all the work for you. And so there's no muscles, and it actually I've seen clients who now are dependent on getting hydrotherapy every week just to go to the bathroom. So you don't want to get into that spot. The open system is fine and is good and healthy. The closed system weakens those muscles. Some people are taking smooth muscle relaxants, and these help relieve and prevent intestinal cramping. However, they can cause heartburn, constipation, dry mouth, and difficult urinating. Anti-diarrheal medications for those with diarrhea slow the intestinal transit and reduce the frequency of the bowel movements while improving the consistency of the stool. However, they can cause blistering, peeling, loosening of the skin, chest pain or discomfort, decrease in urine volume, decrease in frequency of urine, difficulty in passing urine, fast pounding heart rate, hives, welts, itching, rash, regular or irregular or slow heartbeat. I'm sorry, with all of those side effects, no thank you. I will not try it. Probiotics. So this is a tricky one. A lot of people and a lot of doctors say, oh, just go get a probiotic from the store and that should help. Most probiotics consist of 5 to 10 strains, which could overpopulate the gut with too much of a good thing and not enough of the others. And this can actually worsen the balance of the microbiome, making IBS worse. And then SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, could be causing the IBS symptoms and can be worsened by probiotics. So you have to be very careful with the probiotics. Antidepressants. So a lot of people that have thyroid issues are put on antidepressants. Antidepressants, there's some evidence suggesting that they can help with IBS, but why would that be? That could be because the depression is causing you to be anal retentive, right? And the antidepressants are releasing that. But they can actually be causing leaky gut like all other medications, which then can worsen the gut issues, including IBS. Turmeric. Oh my goodness. This one, I used to drink turmeric all day long until I realized it was the cause of my skin rash because of the oxalates. Turmeric is known for helping with a wide variety of gastrointestinal issues, including reducing stomach pain and helping with bowel movements. But it's very high in oxalates, especially when you're taking it as a supplement or in a drink where you're grinding it up and taking it in concentrated amounts. That oxalate amount can cause inflammation, hypothyroidism, urogenital issues. You don't want this long term. So it may actually make the IBS symptoms worse. Psyllium husk. A lot of people say, take psyllium husk. This is a source of soluble dietary fiber, which helps cleanse the intestines and removing food waste and toxins from the body. So I agree with this. Some people are very sensitive to psyllium husk, and it can actually make constipation, bloat, and pain worse in certain individuals. Not everybody, but something to look out for. Okay, so what do we do with all of the things I just went through? You're like, okay, I'm still bloated, constipated. Tell me what to do. The following supplements that I have put together, and believe me, I have had all the tubes in and out of me. And to poop is the most important thing in my day, because then I can move forward with my day. And I know a lot of you feel the same way. So this is one of the reasons I've put together the Ascent Diet Cleanse, and it's the foundation of healing the gut, improving the bowel movements, and reducing inflammation in the gut. And what I can tell you is I have had multiple women and men who have come to me and said, Sarah, I'm of normal weight, but I look like I'm pregnant. And I'll say, no, you don't. And then they'll send me pictures and I'll say, yes, you do. And the problem is their gut is so big and they don't poop. And then I've had people come to me and say, Sarah, I don't poop, but maybe once a week and it's just little pebbles. What do you have? And I'll tell them. And then they'll say, oh my gosh, I will give you everything that you've done for me. You've changed my life. I'm pooping. And when I'm pooping, everything else starts working. So the Ascent Diet Cleanse works. And that's why it has been around for a few years now, changing people's lives, and people that have been to 20 plus doctors, Chinese, Western medicine, Ayurvedic, acupuncture, and nothing's worked until this. So you start with the accelerated silver, and why that's important is it helps devitalize the foreign pathogens that contribute to disrupting gut IBS symptoms and compromise the immune system. And it helps with its antiviral, antibacterial, anti, just killing or devitalizing those foreign pathogens. Then when you introduce the acceleradine, iodine is helping with your hypothyroidism. It's providing that iodine for the T4 and T3, which stands for tyrosine and 3 and 4 molecules of iodine, the thyroid hormones, but those are needed in all 100 trillion cells of the body. It's an essential trace mineral that's not produced by the body. It's not in our diet, in our foods anymore. The iodized salt is actually full of microplastics and the wrong type of salt, and not really bioavailable iodine to even be absorbed. Studies have shown that iodine helps healthy gut bacteria flourish. It is essential that reverses the hypothyroidism, improves bowel movements, improves hormonal balance that is associated with IBS. It helps reverse the estrogen dominance, helps kill viruses, bacteria, fungus, parasites that can be contributing to IBS symptoms. I've had a lot of people that say just using the iodine has helped them poop, but mostly that is because their thyroid's turned on. And then with that, you add in the accelerated thyroid, and that is going to help a lot of you get off of your thyroid medication. This is the thyroid is the master endocrine gland and affects the whole body. Constipation is associated with sluggish thyroid. As the thyroid becomes optimized with the accelerated thyroid and the acceleradine, constipation and IBS symptoms will lessen. And then what else the accelerated thyroid is programmed with the scalar healing frequencies to detox the body from heavy metals and radiation that could be leading to IBS and gut dysbiosis. So we can't see radiation, right? We can't see the heavy metals in our foods, in our environment, but those things are causing our body to turn acidic. They're also disrupting the gut. They're shaking our brain. They're causing depression and anxiety, so many factors. And so with the accelerated thyroid and the acceleridine, both programmed with scalar frequencies to detox the body of radiation and heavy metals, you are combating that issue. And you are going to feel good. It's also, a lot of people are saying the accelerated thyroid and the acceleridine are relieving their depression and anxiety. Depression is predicted. The number one predictor for depression is an iodine deficiency and a sluggish thyroid. Then you've got the accelerated cellular detox powder. This is the gut superhero powder. It's a combination of 6 organic ingredients enhanced with scalar frequencies to help reduce bloat, diarrhea, constipation, reduce inflammation in the intestines, soak up the toxins that contribute to IBS, and improve the nutrient absorption. When I was first diagnosed with IBS, she said I was on the verge of Crohn's disease. I had colitis, and the accelerated cellular detox powder was one of the very first supplements that I was introduced to way back then. And it helped. It just felt soothing to my gut. Super easy to take. You can mix it in anything to drink, and you just drink a little bit, 1 to 2 teaspoons at night before bed. And it also, a lot of people say that it helps with sleep, but it's doing a lot, soaking up the toxins from the day, but then also soaking up the toxins that you've had for years and years and years. Okay, accelerated keto. Why would you need an accelerated keto supplement for IBS symptoms? It is amazing because it helps you intermittent fast, which is one of the best tools to heal the gut. It suppresses your appetite. You do not need to be on a keto diet. It should actually be called the accelerated intermittent fasting supplement. What it does is it teaches your body how to burn its own body fat for energy. So as the body is burning your own body fat, it says, oh, I don't need to eat right now. Because when you eat, the gut has to digest the food. It can't heal itself. And then it has to keep working and working to get that food moved through the intestines and out of the body. So we just need to give our bodies a break for a couple hours during the day. And as you're on the accelerated keto, you feel great energy physically and mentally. Go work out, do your work, whatever it is. Your brain feels great. The gut is reducing the inflammation in the intestines, killing the pathogens that may be contributing to IBS, cleansing the liver gently. So the other really neat thing, we are going to get into why the liver flush is super important, and that's part of the Ascent Diet Cleanse. But just taking the accelerated keto, it's cleansing the liver on a daily basis. I have some clients that are so toxic that they say just by taking the accelerated keto, their stools are moving and they're a little bit loose. And that's actually a good sign because it's defatting and degreasing the liver and getting that saturated fat into unsaturated fat. So it's turning the saturated fat into the unsaturated fat. And then that's like a melted wax candle, just letting it go and getting all that grease out of the body. So as a result, the IBS symptoms subside quickly. The bloat goes away within a couple days. I mean, a lot of people say within 2 days. The magic pill in the accelerated or the Ascent Diet Cleanse is the Laxa Comfort. This is the supplement that takes people from not going poop once, maybe every 2 weeks, to daily. It helps relieve gassiness associated with undigested foods, alleviates occasional constipation, maintains regularity, and it will induce a bowel movement within 6 to 8 hours. And it's not habit forming, so you are fine taking it daily. Then in the Ascent Diet Cleanse, we have the quintessential or the wild lights, because hydration is about electrolytes. And remember, I talked about the accelerated ancient salt, and using that like as a salt flush in high doses can actually induce, loose stools. Proper minerals and electrolytes and hydration are needed for normal bowel movements. The quintessential is actually the exact same consistency of minerals in as the body's blood plasma. So our body's like bathed in itself. It loves it, and it achieves perfect cellular hydration. This aids in healing the gut and producing the proper bowel movements. You can also use the accelerated ancient salt just in water or on your tongue. It provides extra energy. It also helps with nausea. A lot of times, if you're nauseous throughout the day or after eating a high-fat meal, that means that you need a liver flush because your liver's backed up. And the liver is being backed up more than ever with that spike protein that's binding directly to the ACE2 inhibitor in the liver. And that's causing an issue with conversion, which is causing issues with insulin regulation, fibrosis, water retention, stress, inflammation, hormonal imbalance, making PMS symptoms a lot worse. Infertility is worse. A lot of these issues, but a lot of people are also gaining that unexplained weight gain. And it's also causing an issue with the protein and fat breakdown in the liver. So we need to keep our liver healthy, but that fat breakdown issue is causing people to get nauseous. So you can use the accelerated ancient salt on your tongue just to help with that nausea. So the liver flush kit that is part of the Ascent Diet Cleanse. This is going a 2-week period where you're just adding in a couple supplements or pills during the day. You're eating a clean diet, but you're eating real food. I am not a juicer. I do not believe in juicing. But what you do is then on the last day, you're actually flushing hundreds to thousands of stones out of the body and into the toilet. IBS can be worsened by a backed up liver. So think about your pipes. You want to cleanse the bottom pipes, right? Your colon, before you do the upper pipes. So that's why we start taking the Laxacomfort, get things moving with the detox powder for the first couple weeks before you introduce the liver flush kit. It softens those stones, the liver stones and gallstones, and expels them from the liver. And this will increase the metabolism, your fat burning, your energy, in addition to alleviating IBS symptoms. You can also add in, well, the OxyClear is part of that liver flush, but you can use that on a daily basis because it provides digestive and detox support while helping with the bowel function. So it clears the bowels with oxygen also, and it's a nice just everyday relief from constipation. So some people like to take that in combination with the Laxacomfort or instead of. And that's a great substitute. I do recommend for those with gut issues to do the leaky gut bundle. I do it on a daily basis. In the beginning, my doses were much bigger. Now I don't need to do as much. But what it is it's a megaspore, megaprium, and megamucosa. And it helps recondition, maintain the healthy gut microbiome, support the microbial diversity, and the short chain fatty acids in there that are needed for a healthy gut. And I had a client who said, Sarah, I have gone through every single type of doctor over the last 20 years, and no one has fixed my problem. With the Ascent Diet Cleanse and the Leaky Gut Bundle, I feel like a new person. And that was within 2 weeks. He was blown away. The Megaspore, this is different from a probiotic. It reconditions the gut by promoting the microbial diversity, but it's not reseeding it with just a few probiotic strains like other ones. And most probiotics can't survive the digestive tract. The Megaspore stays dormant until it gets down to where it needs to be. And then it wakes up and then it looks around and says, I need more of that. I need more of that. I don't need any of that. And it does its job, and it does its job with its brain. The Mega Pre is designed to selectively feed the beneficial bacteria by the megaspore, and then the Mega Mucosa helps support the leaky gut lining, the mucosal lining, and healing the tight junctions that are associated with leaky gut. You can also incorporate Mega IgG 2000. So I'm going through these supplements in order of priority. If you're getting overwhelmed, know that start with the first things and then incorporate the next things if you're not getting relief. The Mega IgG is essentially just a very gentle cleanup. It finds the bad stuff in the gut and it just soaks them up. So it helps with detoxification, helps with the gut barrier function, helps with digestion. I take it on a small dose every day because I have such a sensitivity to things when I'm eating, and I can get E. coli and salmonella really easily. Now, something to think about, and we're going to talk about in a minute, is what you're eating may not have the E. coli and salmonella, but could trigger trigger an imbalance in the sandbox of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria, letting those gut pathogens to override. So that's where the Mega IgG comes in to just maybe soak that stuff up. I want to throw out one supplement that is another alternative. It's called intestinal formula. It does not work for me because it has garlic in it. And for those of you following me and have listened to me about garlic, garlic is a sulfur food and can cause a backup in the liver. However, it works for a lot of people. It promotes the healthy bowel functions. It works like Laxacomfort. And so it's just a different option. But I just wanted to throw that out there. It's non-habit forming. So if it works for you, that's great. But magnesium breakthrough. So this is one that I want you to incorporate on a first level because a lot of people don't take enough magnesium. Most of us are deficient, and it not only helps hydrate the cells, but also helps reduce stress, which could be causing your IBS issues, improves sleep, and alleviates the constipation. But it has all 7 types of magnesium. So you're not just going to help with your constipation, but you're giving every cell in the body the magnesium it needs. And sometimes just the magnesium breakthrough is enough to get things moving and doing the right thing. You can also incorporate the LifeWave X39 stem cell activation patch. Why this will help is it's regenerating and repairing everything in the body, including the digestive system. And it resets over 4,000 genes to a younger state, repairs the gut, reduces inflammation in the gut, and helps regenerate the stem cells needed for IBS reversal. So you just have to think about your body acting as if it was 20 years old again and getting that strength back, doing all the other things to strengthen the colon and helping with the gut. The X39 is only going to synergize with those and help repair that gut much quicker. The Energy Enhancer patch helps with nausea, reflux, improves digestion, strengthens the organs, and helps heal IBS symptoms. You can actually put them on your abdominal area to the left and right of your belly button to help with constipation and IBS issues. It also drains the extra dampness in, as we say in Ayurvedic medicine, and phlegm, and it increases the life force or the chi in the body. It causes the body to use up about 300 extra calories a day in fat burning and increase the beta oxidation in the mitochondria for fat burning. And it increases mitochondria and ATP in the body. When your cells have more ATP, they have more energy, and then they're going to have more energy to poop and actually heal itself. Okay, so what do we do outside of supplements? You can't just take these supplements and sit around and keep eating what you're eating and heal your gut. right? It's just like I say, if you're not sleeping, then throw all the supplements and all these protocols away. You got to be doing the first things first. Eliminate processed food, dairy, and grains. All of these foods are inflammatory and cause leaky gut. Processed foods, dairy, and grains. They rip holes in the intestinal lining, affect nutrient absorption so that when you're eating the healthy food, those foods are not even absorbed. They worsen bloat and constipation. The effects of these foods will make IBS symptoms dramatically worse. Then what you do want to focus on is you want to focus on wild animal protein like bison, lamb, wild fish. Not only will those provide the essential nutrients needed, but they also won't trigger gut dysbiosis or IBS. So, on the other hand, meats such as chicken, turkey, and pork contain the amyloid proteins. And I've talked about the fact that the spike protein actually is putting more of an amyloid burden on the body. So then when you eat these meats like chicken, turkey, and pork, they're increasing the amyloid burden on the body, which is affecting your brain. But more than that, it's affecting your gut. And then what happens is even if that chicken doesn't have E. coli, the E. coli or the salmonella or any other gut pathogen gets to take over the good bacteria because the amyloid proteins are disrupting that sandbox down there. And it's just causing the bad guys to overtake the good guys. So these things are really hurting you more than ever. And now they're talking about vaccinating the poultry in the United States. So that's something to be concerned about too. So, and you're also hearing about the bird flu. So all of these things, I am going to be staying away from all of the birds. I can say that. Moreover, the amyloid proteins cannot be broken down into usable amino acids for your muscles and tissues. So even the things that you think you're taking in that protein, oh, I need to get 100 grams of protein a day. This piece of chicken is providing 40 grams. No, it's not, because your body's not able to break it down. So you really want to focus on the wild animal protein. Just find one. If that scares you, just find one that you like and stick to it. There's a lot of ranches out there that you can search online and get them to ship directly to you. I actually have a shipment coming in today from northstarbison.com. Love their stuff. So there's a lot of companies out there. Then you want to focus on some foods with caution. Some of the foods like the healthy vegetables that contain sulfur or oxalates, kale, spinach, nuts, Swiss chard, berries, onions, garlic. These are all foods that either have sulfur or oxalates, and I have a food guide that actually lays those out, but those will back up the liver detox pathways, inflame the gut, cause hypothyroidism, all of these things that will not help with your IBS symptoms. Exercise, exercise, exercise. Studies show that not only does regular exercise alleviate anxiety and mood disorders, which are part of IBS, but it also stimulates the bowel muscles to help with more consistent bowel movements. Rebounding is amazing. I'm not into chronic cardio, but running, that getting up and down can help. If you have a vibration machine, that's amazing. Jump rope is amazing. Just the movement will encourage the IBS symptoms to heal and constipation to become alleviated. It will also help with your sleep, help with your stress, and improve just overall gastrointestinal health. Stress reduction. So remember, I've talked about anal retentive. You have to look at your babies, and you know what I'm talking about. When you have a baby who is anal retentive, or a kid that is very tight and doesn't poop at school or doesn't poop in their diaper, and they'll urinate fine. Well, that is a true sign that stress is related to IBS or constipation. So you need to be incorporating stress reducing activities. Journal morning and night. Write your gratitude for every day. I know it's stressful out there. The world is chaotic. Put one foot in front of the other. Take control of what you can. Surrender the rest, but focus on the positive. Meditate, prayer, yoga, breathing exercises, walking. Those are just a few of the ways to manage daily stress. And you have to have something in your day to reduce your stress. Hydration, hydration, hydration. It is imperative to help with IBS. And I know a lot of people who are bloated, they're retaining water because your kidneys and your bladder are near your intestines, right? So when your intestines are impacted, they are also holding up the water. You feel bloated. You can't take your rings off. You are feeling like the last thing I want to do is drink water. Well, you want to be drinking water to help the stool be able to flush out, to expand and flush out. So hydration is not about just the water, it's about the electrolytes. So make sure you're taking in the electrolytes. I hope this was helpful. This is a huge issue that is affecting so many of us. And if more of us were pooping, the world would be a kinder place. I truly believe that. So thank you for joining me today. And if I can help you with your health issues, contact me directly through the website, SARABANTAHEALTH.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you. Comment below. Are you having constipation issues? Are you having diarrhea? Was this helpful? What works for you? I want to hear back from you. And join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on that daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. And the like-minded group that is going to support you is priceless. It will help you truly take control of your health and make you just feel supported as you're going on a daily basis. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products and across over 100 channels under Accelerated Health TV and radio show. If you like what you hear today, please hit the subscribe button and share with a few of your friends who may need my help. A lot of you out there have friends that are not talking about their pooping, but they do need the help. Join us every week, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific. You can find all the supplements at SARABANTAHEALTH.com and use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. Thanks again for joining us here on Accelerated Health TV and radio show, and have a great week.